3 fires were ignited in 3 separate spots in Tampines and Lorong Halus on Sunday, all in the space of about an hour at around noon. This blaze, which was the size of 3 football fields, was the biggest. SCDF says these areas are among the hotspots across the island where numerous fires had sparked off this year. Sales representative and resident Mr. Goh Hian Koon has been living next to this belt of greenery near Tampines Industrial Street 62 for the last 7 years. He has gotten used to bushfires occurring every year. Mr. Goh, you said that recently that there have been a few fires. Can you tell us about the other fires?
No, there's one that's around 2 weeks ago. You can take over a look here. It's just outside my house. There was the fire started 5 minutes after I left. Then my wife called me. So quite okay because after 5 minutes the fire station was here to put out the fire.
What did your wife tell you? What was the call like?
Oh, just told me our house, in front of our house there's a fire. I said, oh, okay.
Has it become so commonplace that you can joke about it? Because, wow, really, the fire is just meters away from, just across the road.
Because this is not the first time. So the previous one is much more nearer to us because it's come near to the road already. But it was also quite safe because the fire station came very fast.
Previously, it was a lot worse when it was just over here by the road. You know, can you tell us when was that and how bad was that? And what did you do?
That was around 2 years back. It started from the side. Now they're actually having the house, the building there. Before the building is an empty glass. I don't know how it started. It just started from the side. I think the wind blow, then the fire just catch across, and then it start burning through over here. This is one of the sector that is actually burned, but the previous one, even over that side, is actually fire. When I saw that, I just made phone call. Then after a while, the police at the fire station came. Then a while, you can see a lot of people standing in front of my house watching the fire burning. I'm
sure that, living so near such areas where occasionally there will be fires at vegetations has also its drawbacks. How badly affected do your homes get here, besides the smoke? Because even now, even though the fire has died down, I can still smell some of the smoke right here.
Yeah, that is only the only problem that we face. Other than that, if very near to us, when the fire is burning, glass start to flow. So this is also one of the things that affect our house, is that we have to do more cleanings. Overall, I think this year is quite okay because there's only 2. So I believe that it will be controlled because over that side they actually do something about become a place for people to do cycling. So more or less the vegetation there are quite controlled.
It gets really, really dirty. Can you tell us a little bit more about how dirty it gets?
We have to close all our windows, and then even we close all our windows, the glass still seep in because we still have gap here and there. So we need to mop our house a few times. Then when you came, is to start to see a lot of glass here that is after burn. Only thing that for our own house we have to mop 2 to 3 times.
For another resident, it was the fire that took place here 3 weeks ago that caused some problems at his home.
Down here can get pretty windy. So that the last incident where the fire actually happened, so because the wind was very strong, so all the ashes was being blown into the house. So even such a small gap like the doorway, so the ashes pretty much dirty the entire room.
Entire room just from one small gap?
Yes, exactly, because the wind was very, very, very strong. So all the ashes, initially, because my wife actually didn't close the window, so and that day happened that she just actually did some vacuuming whatsoever. So after that, when the fire started and the wind started to blow, the whole house was covered with ashes. And then after which she closed the window and never knew that even the small little gap at the doorway, the ashes actually seep in. Yeah, so that's the reason why nowadays we put a towel at the gap there to prevent any kind of this kind of ashes from coming in. Because last time in the past it happened a couple of times, but that was very small little bushfire, and it was actually controlled within a very short while. But this time around it's really quite big. quite serious, yeah.
Are you concerned in any way? Because in a sense also, you're just across the road from the huge vegetated area.
Honestly speaking, not so, because I guess we are too comfortable in Singapore, as in we are sure that anytime this kind of thing happen, the authority will send the people here within minutes, you get what I mean? So I think that in that sense, we are not so particularly concerned about our safety. Yeah, it's only, about this kind of ashes, whatever, that is the thing that we are concerned about, not as in to our safety directly, you get what I mean? I've been following the news quite closely, and I understand that the authority are pretty concerned about this, and nowadays they are paying more attention to this. Yeah, so I believe, and then again, it's also something that we knew the authority is doing something, so we feel safe.
There have been 339 bushfires this year, and that means an average of 6 fires a day. That has kept firefighters on their toes. But it is this vehicle that has helped in some very hot spots. This is the tracked firefighting vehicle right here at Tampines Fire Station. And it's been deployed here because Tampines is actually quite a hot spot, especially in the recent spate of bushfires. And let's check out what this baby can do. Follow me. This is Major Goh, and he's the OC of Tampines Fire Station. Major Goh, could you tell us a little bit more about when this vehicle is actually deployed?
Well, the track firefighting vehicle is usually part of the second wave of appliances that SCDF deploys for fires which are usually bigger than one football field in size. It carries 1,700 litres of water, and it helps us to get to places which are very difficult to reach by means of other vehicles.
Tell us a bit more about the features.
Okay, it's basically used as an equipment and personnel carrier to help the SCDF get to areas which are very hard to reach by other vehicles. Because of the tracks, it is able to traverse against tough terrain, actually. And what you see in this locker is basically basic firefighting equipment, hoses, nozzles and breaching that we use for firefighting. Let us move in front. Okay, what you see in front here, this is the vehicle's drencher system. It is used basically damping down operations. It actually sprinkles a stream of water and douses the glowing embers. And with the tracks going above the embers, it helps us to completely extinguish the fire and eliminate the possibility of a reignition of the fire.
How is this useful compared to what you normally do if you are dispatching manpower?
Well, it helps us save a lot of manpower because this vehicle is able to cover a very large area compared to if we have to do it manually with just firefighters.
I see. Saving like X amount of time, or?
Yeah.